Good Thursday evening to all you fine folks out there on the World Wide Web watching Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show here on a Thursday evening. It's 8 o'clock Georgia time. It's 7 o'clock Southeast Alabama Panhandle of Florida time. And if you're in another time zone, you know what time it is where you are. We don't have to tell you what time it is, but we're glad that whatever time it is where you are, that you are watching the #1 TV show on Thursday night on all of the World Wide Web, Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show. We welcome you to our broadcast tonight. Missed you all last Thursday night, but we are so glad to be here tonight. If you're watching us on Facebook, do us a great big favor. Reach over and hit the like button, hit the share button, and so our broadcast shares on your page. Don't forget about our YouTube channel. We got a great YouTube channel. You can watch us on the big screen on YouTube on your television. You can go back and watch all of the archived episodes of Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show. There's enough episodes you can start watching them right now and still be watching them when Christmas gets here. And I promise you'd have a merry, merry Christmas after you'd watched all of that. But man, we got folks tuned in all over tonight, and we want to welcome you. We welcome you tonight. It is September the 19th, the year 2024. And yes, sir, you are right in the right place at the right time for Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show. We're coming to you live tonight, live from Enterprise, Georgia, live from Thompsontown, Georgia, live from Flamingo Boulevard, Georgia, and live at turn number 3 of the Old Rocket Speedway in Dothan, Alabama. Live all across the great United States of America and in foreign countries where it's legal and illegal for us to broadcast. All 57 states, 5 foreign countries, 4 sunken islands, and coming live, proud and loud since day one to our great friends in the sovereign state of Baker County, Georgia. Big salute to all of our viewers up in the great state of Baker County. Ladies and gentlemen, right now it's time for the truth and nothing but the truth. I promise you, you will hear things here that you will not hear on any other news network, on any other news source, on any newspaper, any magazine, or any other social media outlet. Only right here on Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show, because we're going to tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. But here's a disclaimer. If you do not subscribe to common sense thinking that is propped up with Judeo-Christian morals and principles and conservative ideology, then you're probably at the wrong place at the wrong time. You might choose to listen to us, and we might be able to have an impact on your thinking, but probably what's going to happen, your blood pressure is going to get up, you're going to get mad with it. So you are not conservative, you're not Judeo-Christian, you're not common sense thinking. Go ahead and do yourself a favor. Go on ahead and turn it on over there and watch you some Joy Bayer and some Mika Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough for about 2 hours. But tonight,
Hey, excuse me.
Go ahead.
If they did not watch this morning, they missed Rutabaga Drawer with Whoop-de-Doo on The View. Go ahead.
on.
I knew you didn't see it because you done made something. Oh, it was a love fest made in hell. Yeah, in hell. Go ahead, Marvin.
We are live tonight, boys, on a big screen. First time ever live. 109.471654 and 1/13 of an inch in diagonal perpetuity on the big screen.
Why don't you tell the people what the meaning of perpetuity is?
Yeah, I want to hear that.
You use it a lot.
Enlighten us, Marvin. Help us.
Forever.
Did you say
So 109 inches is forever.
Yeah, it's just, it runs at 109 forever. You can make that loop 109 inches.
I didn't know if you were trying
What's
to
the
say
fraction on it?
perpetuity or purgatory. Which one are you trying to say?
Good one.
All right. We are live tonight the very first time at Mercifities. We are live at Mercifities.
Woo!
Mercedes Mule Glamour Shots. Mercifities Makeup Techniques of Hillary Clinton.
Whoa!
Mercifities Middle-aged Men Buck Dancing Bonanza. Mercifities Mild-Mannered Widow Women Pole Dancing Competitions. And Mercifities Mud Wrestling for Midgets in Malvern, Alabama.
We've been
There's
to
pro-
Malvern. We've
I
We've
been to
thi-
been to
I,
Mal,
Malvern.
yeah.
I
We
think
know.
Mercipity's first cousin is a Democrat that finances that down there. I'm not sure, but I think that might be the case.
We
And
went
they
to a
got
church over there in Malvern, didn't we? Didn't we go to a church over there one time?
The
First
church
Yeah,
was
Baptist.
well received. We were well received and treated graciously over there.
Yeah,
they
we were.
served food down at that thing that night too, if y'all
Yeah, we
remember.
know.
But
That's
now
right.
I did not see any midget mud wrestling. Not mid wrestling, but midget mud wrestling.
Can I
Yeah,
ask a
hey,
question before we
Barbara,
go?
you do, and you gonna clean it up.
Yeah, can I ask this question to the panel in the upper right and the lower left? Is it just me, or do y'all think he took a dose to something before he came on tonight?
He's getting us confused with
Yeah, he got
something
that
else he's
truck.
been involved in, and
He got that.
he's been out of commission. I hadn't talked to him. This day first time I've talked to him
He
since
got
last
pep in his
Sunday.
step over there.
He's going
He's been to
somewhere. I can't
Savannah.
remember where it was at. But anyway,
He's been to some.
I think he's been down there to Ziggy B's and got him some of that elixir, some of that
Uh-uh.
elderberry.
He's
I
been to
think he,
Savannah. He's over
I
on
think,
River Street.
and I think he's dipping some of that Old Bay to go along with that elixir. It got him just,
He's going. He's on. I
uh,
like it. Marvin's keyed up tonight. Now that's
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to go to Savannah this week. Had a meeting over there in Savannah.
yeah. He sure
I'm
did.
on. Let's do a little the picture of the last one I sent you. Let's go with that. And Lee Scott, our redneck pulpwooder with class. Am I not right? That ain't Lee Scott and the pulpwooder with class.
Be patient with me there. I mean, you overdrive, sometimes you overshoot your runway.
That's it.
These, if you have seen any of these on the side of the road and it popping up, not planted by anybody, just popping up, they are called, what did you call them, Floyd?
I call them red hot pokers, but I was wrong.
They are spider lilies. And according to Lee's buddy up in Eufaula, a Jack Wingate always had his sayings on my show and different signs he looked for, and 90% of the time he was dead on. And according to Lee Scott's buddy up in Eufaula, when you see those pop up like that, we're 6 weeks away from a frost. Now, not necessarily a killing frost, but some frost on the ground or on the top of your vehicle. And that could very well be because Queaswell done the math, and that's 1st of November. Is that right? Somewhere around there?
Yeah, but I didn't do
What?
the math. I can't count that high. I don't know who done that. I just said it was time. It was time to get some turnips in the ground
It's
and they
gonna
finna
be
get a frost.
October 31st. Y'all
Huh?
write that down. Write that down, Marvin.
All right.
October 31st. Let's see if it's a frost.
Floyd, I thought Red Hot Pokers was a rock band.
I don't know. I don't know nothing about that.
Red hot pokers is one of them fire pokers that you leave in the fire too long. It turn red hot
That's right.
right quick. But you know, Charlie, you're talking about old Jack Wingate radio station down there in Bainbridge every morning has a throwback to Jack Wingate. You know, it like be you hear them from the early 2000s and whatever. And then it's amazing to hear him talk and see how it all kind of lines up with what's going on. It'll be for, you know, like the day was for September the 19th or whatever year it was, and it's I enjoy. I don't get to hear them all the time, but when I'm close, it's somewhere around 9 o'clock. When I'm close to a radio or something, I
What's the
try to
call
listen to
signal?
it.
What's the sign on that? What's the number
Excuse
on the
me.
radio station?
1019, I believe it is. Live, is
1019.
it live 1019? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
I
it.
know.
think that's
Live
it.
1019.
I'm gonna tune that in. I'm gonna listen to that.
Yeah,
Hey,
they've got a morning show, Jesus and Jammin' maybe or something
yep.
like I don't know, but it's morning show and it's from 6 to 9 or 6 to 10, something like that.
But every
Hmm.
morning they have him on there, and it's so many years back, the exact day, and I was listening to it one day last week, and they had talked about how many days in a row it had rained, and I was trying to think, how long it'd been since it had rained here. It was back, maybe it wasn't last week. It was whenever we was going through that drought, and they was talking about all the rain, and then he's always got something like you talking about, Charlie, with some kind of prediction, and then they'll ask him every day what the signs are, and he'll tell them the signs and where it is in the body, what they need to plant, and then he tells how many people caught fish, and it just takes you back.
Oh yeah,
First
yeah.
thing I thought of was your show when it took me back and listening to it.
We
That's
Good
we
good
gonna
reflecting.
deal.
That's what you call reflecting. That's pretty
reflect
good.
it.
Reflecting. That's right.
We're gonna have fun tonight. I feel like a bookie story is in the works, but
I ain't got no
before
book
we,
story tonight.
oh, you
No,
you better come up with something.
I may come
uh,
up with a flowing story tonight.
okay,
Yeah.
I want to bring something up that for the Democrats that are watching your folks up around Chicago and Springfield, Ohio. We now feel your pain down here in the Wiregrass area. I have known this and talked to Floyd about it, and I might have mentioned it on our little get together on Thursday night. But several months ago, a few months ago, I got the word from some of my friends over around Enterprise, where I grew up, that there was a boatload of Haitians, or a load of Haitians, I'll say it that way, that were flown over here. They were supposedly brought in to work at one of the, or both of the chicken processing plants over there. But since we're not always told what we're supposed to be told, I'd like to read a statement from Mayor Bill Cooper. And I've known Bill Cooper pretty much all of my life. Mr. Bill is the first African American mayor in Enterprise, Alabama. He was for many, many years. He has a great history. He was band director at the black high school in the day, and then went through, all of the desegregation and everything. Bill's a great fella, and I think a lot of Mr. Bill. I would like to take a moment to address concerns that I'm hearing from our citizens regarding some Haitian migrants. Now, this is the mayor of Enterprise, Alabama, 28 miles from where I'm sitting, talking to his citizens. First, I would like to say that we are sympathetic to the men, women, and children who leave their country to focus on building a better life, especially amidst economic hardship, political instability, social unrest, war, and natural disasters. We are aware that Department of Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas, I don't even like to, let's just, for our sake, call him Secretary Jackass, program allows refugees from Haiti to be placed in our community. It is unfortunate that we, as a city, were given no advance notice nor additional resources to accommodate this influx. My office is in close contact with local law enforcement, healthcare community, the school systems, the other groups that might be impacted by this unexpected migrant influx. There have been some serious allegations of crimes happening in our area. If these things did happen, it has not been reported to our law enforcement. If anyone is aware of criminal activity, I urge them to let the appropriate authorities know so the claims can be investigated. Now, I'll stop right there for just a second and say this. I've talked to two or three of my good friends over there today, and the three contend that there have been violations and maybe we just don't want to make an issue about it and are, let's say, putting them over. That's from very reputable, very respected citizens of Enterprise, Alabama. We will uphold the law regardless of race, gender, or ethnicity. If someone breaks the law, we will pursue them to the fullest extent. The federal programs that have brought these migrants to the wiregrass have unintended consequences. Frankly, we have not been given the resources to help these migrants as best they can to assimilate into our local community. Our services are strained. Citizens of Enterprise, we hear you. You better hear them, Bill. We are as frustrated as you are that our resources are limited and taxed by the federal program. We are working for with other communities that these experiencing the same type things. We are seeking out resources where we can while ensuring that all city, state, and federal laws are followed. I met with some members of the Haitian community who settled. Did you hear that? Settled in Enterprise. We discussed many things to include our cultural differences and cultural norms. We want everyone in our city who wants to work be gainfully and legally employed. Our city last year adopted updated property maintenances and fire codes. We're holding landlords responsible. We're ensuring that everyone has access to essential services like clean, running water, as well as safe living conditions. We want everyone who comes here legally to be active, productive members of our community and to feel welcome. After all, the city is the epitome of triumph over adversity. It's a story we all know too well. I don't know what he's talking about there. City of Enterprise will remain vigilant in the coming days, weeks, and months, and will continue to act in the best interest of our community as all who call it home. Your opinion. Start with Floyd. Floyd, go first.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to start with. I'm gonna ask you first. I'm gonna have some follow up questions. Is the mayor a Democrat or a Republican?
Yeah, I have no idea. I ain't never
Okay.
walked with him
So
in the
you
voting
don't know
booth.
if you don't know
No,
what.
no.
I'm just asking. Anybody in the Enterprise know if the mayor of Enterprise is Democrat or Republican? Okay.
That I have no idea.
That's a question we need to answer. Well, here's another thing that he has misspoken several times in his letter. I just been just a couple of them here. First of all, he talked about that he didn't know anything about the crime or anything about the Haitians that were moved there. He was unaware of any of that until he was informed later on by some constituents. Now I find that hard to believe. If you're a mayor of a city, you don't know and don't realize that people who do not speak your language, who do not respect your culture, who have no skills, who have no education, and they're living here, where do people came from? I don't understand why he's in the dark on that. That's two things. The other thing is he was talking about the unintended consequences. See that right there kind of rung a bell with me.
Mm-hmm.
Unintended unintended consequences. See, there's consequences in everything that you do. Every action that you do, everything move that you make, it has a consequence. And with the present Democrat Party, uh, they know uh, everything is intended. Nothing that they do is unintended. So
Agreed.
he's speaking rubbish on that. I find I have issue with a lot of what he's saying, and you don't have to be Perry Mason or Kojak to figure out what's going on in your city. You know, you pretty much know what's going on in your city if you will get out and ride around and stop watching MSNBC and CNN all the time. You'll know what's going on in your city. You'll listen to your constituents, but he has. It sounds to me like the mayor has certain constituents that he listens to, and certain constituents that he does not listen to. and I find that troubling because that's the way it is in a lot of these cities. Uh, and we were watching, Nadine and I were watching Laura Ingram tonight before the show came on. Sylacauga, Alabama, got the same thing going on. They brought them in there. They are not assimilating, Mr. Mayor, if you will. And let me tell you what is not never ever going to happen in your city. They are not going to assimilate into a South Alabama rural community any way whatsoever. You can forget it. So the consequences are intended, and it can happen anywhere in any city in the United States of America. In fact, they're picking out what they're doing. They're picking out conservative and Republicans districts to bombard those communities with these kind of people. Same thing Obama did in I think it's Minnesota, Wisconsin, or wherever that Ilhan Omar is from, with all those Somalian people. They created a whole congressional district. That's why we have her as a United States Congresswoman, Ilhan Omar, and that's what's happening. So you know,
You called out Sylacauga, Floyd. That makes Enterprise, Sylacauga, and I know Alexander City is having the same problem. So that's
Haitians.
three. Yeah, all Haitians,
Mm-hmm.
and they're flying. I understand they're flying these folks in here on jet airplanes.
Yeah, they're flying them in, bringing them in on 747s and dropping them off. Communities
Yeah,
know nothing about it. They have no idea where these people are coming. Same thing can happen in Miller County, Colquitt, Georgia. Same thing. It
They're
wouldn't
and
gonna have
and,
a
surprise me
and
if they
hard
did. It
time.
wouldn't surprise me if they did it. They make what they're doing is making a point. They
yeah,
are in our face. They hate us so much and they despise us so much that they are going to prove to us that they are going to take away our freedoms and our rights and our homes and anything else that we have. They're
yeah.
Floyd, they're gonna have a
determined to do
hard
it.
time landing that 747 out here at Tab International. I want to watch that when
They're not
that
going to
thing
land it
comes
out
in.
there. They'll land it
No,
in Atlanta and they'll bring them
Yeah,
in here on buses.
I want to see that landing out
They're
there
not
on
going to
Tab
land out there
International.
at Tab International. They'll
You
land
don't
them in
but
think
but
so?
Tallahassee or they'll land them in Atlanta and they'll bus them in here. When you see a bus sitting down there with 60 or 70 of them getting off, and we're going to scratch our heads out. I wonder where they come from.
Oh, we know
And
where they're
we'll,
gonna
we'll
come from.
know.
Yeah,
We'll know
we know
then.
where they're gonna come from.
And I'm going to tell you something else about these. There's very few people in Colquitt, Georgia, that would benefit from this influx of these migrants, if you will. And the people that benefit from this are slumlords. They're the people that own all of the low rent housing. They're the people that own these motels, if you will, everywhere. They're the people that will be getting the government funded rent checks, uh, which will be exorbitant because the Haitians ain't got no money to pay no rent. Federal government's going to pay the rent for them. They're going to put them so just think about who owns the
Hotel Patel,
oh,
Hotel Patel.
and your low rent property owners with the rental business. They'll prosper. They'll get wealthy, and the community will die.
I just wanted to let everybody know it's at home, and as far as Mayor Cooper's letter to the citizens, I've been hearing these stories for what, Floyd? I've been talking to you about it for 3, 4 months that it was going
Yeah,
on, or longer.
longer. It's
Why
been
does it?
longer than that. It's been at least 6 months, 6 9 months, Charlie.
Why in the heck does it take him so long to let everybody know there's a community of Haitians that have been brought in here by your federal government, who is controlled by a bunch of low-life Democrats?
Mhm. I saw this. We saw this. You and I talked about this. Enterprise, Alabama. They had a flooding issue there, where the housing was, where so many people were staying. And man, they brought in some. They brought in some. They brought in some. I think Al Sharpton might have come down to
Oh, that was
investigate.
Elba. That's Elba.
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 Okay.
That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say something about that. I saw that problem coming in 2015 when my oldest son and I went up there to a flood, and they hadn't finished the road yet. But I told Brantley, I said, boy, when they get that berm finished on this US 84, I said it's gonna back up when the river gets high, it's gonna back up water on these folks over here. It's got nowhere to drain. Meemaw needs to do something with her highway department. Another restaurant in Dothan closed this week because the state highway department has been working on the same stretch of Ross Clark Circle for 3 years. And folks don't want to try to go here and there to get to a restaurant that they love.
What was
And
So
the
they,
you get run
restaurant?
over.
Which
And
one?
Elba, take Elba, Alabama. How
yeah,
many times has Elba, Alabama flooded, Charlie?
you can't
You
count
can't
them.
keep it. There's no way you can't keep up with it. How many times it's flooded?
But
It
Which
ain't
and
that old
answer
owl down here.
which
Marvin
restaurant closed?
Fazoli's, the Italian
Mm-hmm.
place in front of the
Mm-hmm.
old North Side Mall.
I knew
Mm-hmm.
IHOP had closed.
Yeah, well, that's on the same little stretch right there. They're about three buildings apart. So you've had two great restaurants close up because Meemaw's bunch can't build a dead gum road. I mean, government, government, government.
Queasel, tell them about Shingler Law.
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all. I didn't know where I wanted to say this or not, but we known for telling the truth. So I would be remiss if I didn't say this. Oh, Shangler, he changed ships on us back a little earlier in the month. He changed ships on us somewhere around about the 1st of September. He went to work for the prosecutor. He went to work for the prosecutor. I believe he went to work for the prosecutor. They hired him in the state of California. They hired him in the state of California to be a special prosecutor. They hired him, I think it was September the 4th. And on September the 5th, Hunter Biden pled guilty when he saw him walking in the door and knew he was going to prosecute him.
Do it,
Pled
Billy.
guilty right there. I
My
mean,
That's it.
man.
That's
I
my
don't know
man.
what else to say. If that ain't enough to tell you what kind of lawyer this man is, I don't know. They hired him for one day. He worked from September the 4th to the September the 5th, and then he come back to Donaldsonville. There he is, Shingler Law, 229-524-1225. Not only will he get you off, he will lock you up. Whichever way it goes, he goes either way. He goes both ways. There's your number. If you need a good lawyer, you call Billy Shingler. He will handle it for you.
Can't
Nah,
beat that.
uh, show a fish, and we'll get into something. I think. Look at here. Coach Ronnie Hicks, Coach Al Griffin, two of the latest inductees into the Henry County Sports Hall of Fame, members of the Wiregrass Hall of Fame, and members of the Crappie Fishing Hall of Fame, when they can get a good guide like Scott Redmond to show them where the holes are. That was earlier this week on Lake Eufaula. Pretty bunch of crappie for this time of the year.
Yep.
Crappie or speckled perch, whatever you want to call them. I believe they fry up good, even Queasel's fryer, don't you?
I
Well,
think that
and they also they're members of the they charter members of the Henry County Fish Mutilator Club.
That's exactly right. They own, in fact, I think there's a few of them that are co-owners in that mutilator that goes round and round and round.
Guys, I wanted to, you never know who you're going to run into. I wanted to show you today who I ran
look at
into.
that.
Oh boy.
That is
There
none
he is.
other than Floyd's landscape professional, Lee Otis Rogers, sporting his new Charlie Platt the Dirt Road Sports Show car tag. Now, where he's going to hang it, I have no idea. But I did tell him, I said, you hang this somewhere. So, now when
He,
he
Marvin, if I may interject, if I may add a talking point here to this, if y'all will notice that basket on his wheel, uh, yeah, the reason that basket is all wonky jawed and sideways like it is that's what happens when you when you are ferrying 30 packs from the mall grease back across Highway 27 to your house. it warps your basket. So if, and it's not just regular 30 packs, it's 30 packs of butt light. So if anybody out there has got a basket that's sufficient to hold a 30 pack of butt light, contact us and we'll get it to Leotis. We'll get it, and if you want to donate it, we'll put a little plaque on there, donated by so and so, and we'll put your name on the plaque, and
Yeah.
we'll get it installed on his wheel.
It
Yeah.
needs to be reinforced though. It needs to
Well,
be
Yeah,
he's
it's
got
got to be. Yeah,
he got four radiator clamps holding that basket on there. He got him one over got him two on the side for spares in case one of them gets too loose if he needs to
he
reinforce
got an
some
extra.
more.
I see his extra
Yeah,
clamps he
he
got
got
there.
him two more clamps over on the side, so he's
all
ready.
right. Now,
That,
Floyd,
that that's a
we got to
Hank Williams Jr. song right there. A country boy can survive.
we got to get this straight. There's a scientific thing you just said. You said wonky jawed. Now there's wonky jawed and anti goggling. What is the difference? Now that one is that one wonky jawed or is
That
that
wonky jaw. Danny Goggle is going crossways.
okay? I got it.
That's what
What
he's
about
doing. That's what he's doing after the 30 pike.
I was going to
what
ask
He's
the
anti
question.
goggling.
I was going to ask the question since he is your landscape authority. Would the look on his face tend to make you believe he had been through that 30 pack when that photo was snapped?
He looks
No.
that way all the time.
Oh
all
yeah.
the time?
Okay. Uh-huh.
24/7, don't he, guys?
Oh,
24/7. That's the look. And I'm going to tell you something. Let me tell you something about my man Leotis, our man in Concord, Georgia. If if we were all like Leo, we may not be on the moon. You understand? But we can lay down and go to sleep at night and leave the keys in our car, and we can leave the doors to our houses
That's right.
That's
unlocked.
right.
about that
Now
now.
that's a testimony to a man right there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we all have a spirit about us. We have an aura, if you will, and you can use this, Marvin, preaching a funeral sometime if you want to. We all have an aura about us. And looking at that face right there, anybody in the world with any sense at all can look at that face of Leotis and know that that is a good man right there.
Yep.
I think Sunday morning sermon at the Flat Creek after this introduction that we had the number one show on the internet on Thursday night and some of the other things he said. The topic of the sermon should be you can go to hell for lying just like stealing on Sunday morning.
And that brings us to a commercial. Charlie, take this one. Go ahead.
Boy, it didn't take him long to hit the button, did it, boy? Woo!
He
But he,
dialed you in on that, Jolly.
oh boy, but he hit a good button. So William Meats, two great locations to serve you. One on 27, US 27, between Colquitt and Blakely, and of course 431 location, Headland, Alabama. Go see them. We have talked and talked about the fine meat products they have, locally grown beef, the best you'll find anywhere around. They do their own processing. They also have great sausage, whether it be link or patty, all types of ground beef, great meats, great cheeses. If you're on the Alabama side over here, they got working cow dairy products. They've even got some new items didn't get a picture of yet, cutlery that you can find. Go to the Facebook page, check them out. They are satisfying a lot of hungry folks in the Wiregrass area, whether it be the Georgia or Alabama location. Stowega Meat. Check them out tomorrow morning, located between, of course, Colquitt and Blakely on 27 and on 431 Headland, Alabama. You won't find any better anywhere.
Hey guys, it's trivia time here on Charlie Platt, the Dirt Road Sports Show, brought to us by Southern Hissy Fits in Colquitt, Georgia. There's their phone number, located on the southwest corner. All your embroidery, t-shirts, tumblers, whatever you need, Miss Vicky can take care of it right there at Southern Hissy Fit. You can either bring your garments in and she will embroider them, or she has a catalog and she can order you most any kind of item that you need. And the winner tonight will receive a car tag, compliments of Southern Hissy Fits, as modeled by our landscape professional, Mr. Leotis Rogers. Charlie Platt, the Dirt Road Sports Show licensed car tag. You will be the winner tonight if you guess this. Now, they've got a pretty easy one tonight for you. I got a pretty easy one for you tonight. Here's the question: year, make, and model. Year, make, and model. Year, make, and model of this automobile. 229-254-5060 is the number. 229-254-5060. Text it to me. Your name and the correct answer, the year, make, and the model on this. Floyd, do you know what it is?
I do. I remember.
Queasel, how about you?
Yes, sir. Worked on them. Worked on many one of them.
I think I'd be pretty close myself on that one.
I wonder why that back door was open like it is back there. Parked in the woods with the door was open.
Mm.
Oh.
Twixt them two trees.
The front and the back door is open, as I do see things.
I wonder, this picture was in Floyd Town, by the way, Charlie. I just wanted
Oh, I can tell you the rest of the story since Floyd himself. Well, there was some running out of that car that night. Whoa, boy. They were looking for some ether to make that other car start, and that's what happened.
It
All
was
right, I got it. No, it is not a 1974 Lincoln. That is not it. You're real close on the year, but it is not a Lincoln. Not a Lincoln.
What year they guess?
They guess 74, and it is all right. Dowie is you're close here. You're missing one thing on the what it is, and you're a little bit off on the year. It is not a 74. Not a 74. 68 Cadillac, no. 73 Lincoln, no. 75 Lincoln, no. Bob Dowie is as close right now as anybody. Jeb Tab said it looks like a Miller County property corner right there. I don't know, Jeb. That might be in Miller County.
I got one here for you, Marvin. I got one on here for a 1973 Grand Marquis.
Okay, they've Mercury Grand Marquis. That is correct, but that is not the right year model.
You close, T.
Close, very close. Very.
I think I remember who had a car like that one time. I can't remember, but I do.
There
I
it is.
remember.
Bill Hornsby got it. 1976
That's it.
Mercury Grand Marquis.
That's
I
it.
might add that I had a 1972 Mercury Grand Marquis two-door.
Yep.
Man, he was a horse.
I'll tell you what, with a 460 cubic inch motor in it.
460 cubic inch boat, exactly right. Man, you charging the ground, son.
Right there, 1976 Mercury Grand Marquis.
Worked on
You
a
could
menu
run
one
up-
of them.
Sir?
I worked on a menu one of them.
Folks don't
Yes,
have
sir.
cars like that no more.
Yeah.
If
You
you
could
do,
work
it'll
on
cost
them.
you $150,000, you know.
But them cars didn't give much trouble. They didn't much tear up on them cars.
I know they did.
They were built now. You had to took
It
a
was,
football
like a
field.
it was like a tank Queasel
It took
riding
a
down the
football
road.
field
It just float down the road.
Yeah, it took a football field to turn one round in, but them was some real cars now.
What
Sure
was that
was.
Floyd that you said that Bill Dismuke's mama had, that big old car?
She had a Pontiac Bonneville. Big old Pontiac Bonneville, two-door Pontiac Bonneville had the fastback on it like that. Had the big fender skirts and all of it. I mean, that was a barge. Ooh, that was a right blue. Prettiest blue car I ever seen in my life.
I tell you, you remember that Chrysler Imperial?
Yes, sir.
Ooh,
That was another big one.
Bob Armstrong had a 1976 Chrysler Imperial. What motor was in that thing, Queasel?
I can't remember that.
400 something cubic inch.
440 probably. 440.
Yeah,
probably was.
that's what it was. He'd run down there. I rode with him one time in that car.
What was
One
the
time.
gas mileage on that 76?
It don't matter, man. Don't ask that question.
Gas what about 40
Immaterial,
gallons?
irrelevant, and
Immaterial.
incompetent.
And it was how long did it take you to get that car from Columbus, Georgia TV down to Dothan TV?
Mhm. That's all that matters.
And the answer was more than I wanted to ever remember.
Oh,
They showed a. Go ahead.
Ziggy B Seafood, there you go. Throw it up there, man. That's one of my favorite places. Y'all know where I was at this afternoon about 5 o'clock. I was right in there getting me some of them good steamed shrimp. She had that thing dialed in. Me and Nadine brought them things home and we ate them and we made us a Greek salad to go with it. One of the best things in the world. There's your seafood right there. If you want it fresh yesterday, about I say about 10 hours ago, all that stuff was swimming in the water. It was in the water somewhere. And now it's in that case right there at ZB Seafood here in Concord, Georgia. Try y'all some of them salmon steaks. Go in there and tell you want you a couple of those little salmon fillet steaks and she'll cut them off there for you. Put them in your little olive oil and cook them out there for you. And go in there like Marvin has done today and got him some elderberry elixir. I know
Yes, sir.
he's jacked up. He's pumped up. You got that elderberry, so y'all go get you some of that elderberry elixir in there. It'll make you feel good. It'll make everything. You'll say every day's a holiday and every meal's a feast when you get through drinking some of that. Y'all go see Ziggy D. Y'all know where she's at. Y'all know we love her. Y'all know she give you some good fresh seafood at a good price. You take it home, cook it, eat it, or she'll steam it for you, and then you take it home and cook it and eat it. Ziggy B
I,
Seafood Market, right here in Concord, Georgia.
can I add to that? I saw some pictures she had earlier this week. Well, yesterday, because she was down on the coast getting that seafood put together around Apalachicola, Port St. Joe. Had some pretty oysters, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
She was down there doing marketing yesterday. Go to the peanuts. Like, as my friend and colleague Floyd B. Lloyd said the promo he did earlier today, nothing like the smell of peanuts on top of the ground, being plowed up ready for harvest. Unless you were Dale Armstrong on County Road 99, Headland, Alabama. We had one of them Lewis Grizzard come up a cloud episodes up there. Saturday night in 2.5 hours, it rained 7.5 inches. Here's what happens when 7.5 inches falls in 2.5 hours on a freshly plowed up patch of peanuts. About a third of the field gets washed completely away on the side of the road, going through a pike and going a quarter of a mile or more down the drainage area to the railroad tracks. You ever seen that, Floyd?
Man, that's tough right there. Now, I mean, that's about as bad as I ever seen right there. I've seen some bad things, but that's pretty tough right there now.
It just cut that field in half, right down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
Y'all, y'all were talking a
water.
while ago about how long it's rained, and that reminds me that I had a flashback when I just saw that. Uh, I remember I remember it rained 21 straight days in 1979. It would have been about starting about September 10th or 15th. It rained 21 straight days in 1979. I know because I had 150 acres of peanuts plowed up ready to pick. We had just started picking them, and they were doing about 4,500 pounds to the acre in 1979. It set in and it rained. It didn't rain hard. It didn't rain no washing rain, none of that. It rained every day for 21 straight days. And when we went back in there to try to get them, we could only pick in the morning. We couldn't pick in the afternoon because they'd shatter off and they'd go everywhere. So we picked while there was a little dew on them. And needless to say, that was one of them farming experiences that I hope none of y'all ever have to go through. But some of the boys that lived over there close to where I'm from over there, over here in Miller County, and it didn't affect anybody in Alabama at that time. It was just right over us. And we had a weatherman on Channel 10, Albany, WALB. His name was Gil Patrick. And he had a word for that front back of. He called it. It was meandering. I won't ever forget how he described it. Meandered up and down, back and forth, right across us, back and forth, back. And it put it out. And little low pressure systems they come across. And it rained 3 or 4 tenths a day. Half inch. It rained every day for 21 straight days. But hey, that was the life I chose, and had to deal with it and move on.
And then in 1980, you got slapped upside the head on the other way.
Yeah, the other way around in 1980, nothing. We had someone that we plow up in 1980 so bad.
but that particular thing that occurred here Saturday night, I'm about 6 miles from that location. I got 2 inches of rain. A lot of
Okay.
folks to the west got no rain at all,
We didn't get done.
and it was not a wide. It was just right along 431 around Headland, Alabama, and I think you were down around Malone today, and that another of those clouds did the same thing down there
The
and
day
just
before
set.
yesterday, I was down there. Went to Campbellton, and I just saw fields, big ponds of water in fields around Malone down there. So it came one down there too.
Mm.
So
I
feel for
believe
you.
it would tell me if I'm wrong, but it was September 2 or 3 years ago. You were doing the auction for Mr. Gerald Mason, and the flood happened down there during the auction.
That's right. Sure did. It's about 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
had another flashback seeing them laying out there with in that water everywhere you know. It was just a shield of water around everything.
yes, sir.
Anyway, so y'all, any of you cats out there y'all want to try y'all look at farming? Jump on, have you some of it, baby. Have you some of it, cause
Mm,
and that is unintended consequences there. Anyway, that's the life. Hey, I like to say that's the life I chose, and that's the way it worked out.
Well, there's a lot happened in the news this week. There was a second. What was it? Since we were on air last, president's been had a second assassination attempt against his life. Um, the of course the Secret Service has no idea how that happened. And I don't know that it's over. I don't know that the attempts are over yet. I don't know what's going to transpire between now and November. Um, I read today where, of course, there's a whistleblower that wrote a letter today or wrote a letter this week saying that they knew about the vulnerability at the golf course and chose not to do anything about it.
It's
What are y'all?
where the problem lies. That's
Well,
always if you got a problem, if you got anything, somewhere there's an origination point. People are involved in creating the problem. So it don't take you don't have to be a genius to figure out what's going on.
they said yesterday that out there where they did shoot him, that the that building that the sniper was on, uh, the local people were supposed to look after the building. The local people come up yesterday and testified, or they put it out yesterday that the FBI, I mean the Secret Service, told them don't worry about it. They had that building covered. They didn't
yep,
even have to worry about it. And
yep.
I don't know what they covered it with, but it did cover it all the way up.
You got
There's
a
some
guy on
holes.
top. It's a white top to the building, and you got a guy with a camouflage outfit on a background of white. Do you see a problem with that?
Apparently
Ray
not.
Charles,
Apparently,
Ray
Secret Service
Charles could
don't.
have made that shot.
Mhm.
I
Let
mean,
me let me tell you something else too. Guess what organization they've tied both of the suspects back to? One organization, and they've tied them both back to that one organization,
What is Marv?
Black Rock.
Black Rock. But we're not supposed to know that. We're not supposed to ask questions
no.
because if you go to asking questions, then you're inciting violence.
Oh,
That's about right.
We,
That's the
That's it.
it is official today. Senator Katie Britt from right here in the Wiregrass area will be hosting President Trump at the Alabama Georgia game next
All
Saturday
right,
in
come on,
Tuscaloosa,
Katie.
Alabama.
are
We
you
were wondering
serious?
if he's going to be there.
He's going to
Yeah,
be at the game. He
yeah,
confirmed it today, and Katie Britt is his host,
yeah.
hostess. She's going to be bringing the president and setting up there with him.
I
hmm
wonder
I bet
where
he's gonna be
Tim and
pulling for Georgia though.
where
No,
Tim and
hey,
Kamala going
with
to be.
who y'all,
I
whoa, whoa,
bet you,
whoa, with who
yeah, he's gonna
y'all
have a.
elected senators over there, do you
He's
think
gonna
Donald
be.
Trump is going to
No,
pull for
sir. He's gonna
Georgia?
be pulling. He's gonna be pulling
No,
for them
He
dogs.
knows.
no.
He knows a good team, though. He knows that. He's a
You're
bulldog at
gonna be
heart.
pulling for them dogs, Charlie.
Queasel, speaking of bulldogs, tell him about Holstered Nine.
Oh man, this is the place. This is the place now. Anything that you need in the line of ammunition or firepower or guns, they got it. I had a man telling me the other day about this. We've talked about the Second Amendment rights. Floyd's gonna talk to you about it again before we go on. But he was telling me about a home defense shotgun they got out there that is designed to protect you and your family. And he was telling me all about it. You need to go out there and see it because there ain't no way I can describe it and do it justice. But you need to go see it. They got that. They got any kind of pistol you might need for your security. And you heard the story going on about what's happening over in Enterprise, and crime is growing. We gonna have to get to where we can protect ourselves because the federal government ain't gonna let the police protect us. They would do it. Those men and women that wear that badge that in law enforcement, they'll protect you, but their hands is getting tied more and more every day. You need your personal protection. Hunting season is here. Any kind of shotgun you want, shotgun shells, they got them. Deer hunt season's right around the corner. So you need to go get your deer rifles, any of that stuff. They got all the scopes, the mounts, everything you need for hunting or self and home defense. They got it. Walk right next door, get any kind of parts you need, trucks, cars, tractors. They got everything. Peanut season's here. They're fitting to start picking them. They're plowing them up now. You need to get that grease, that hydraulic fluid, all that stuff you need. They got it. Got a gift shop in there for the ladies. And don't forget them world renowned Floyd B. Lloyd rabbit pellet grills, all kind of flavors of rabbit pellet grills they got in there. I was in there the other day and they had 3 bags left, but they had some green persimmon uh, pellets to go in your grill. You ought to try them and see how they do. Phillips
That's
Auto Parts and the Holstered 9, 27 just out of Cockwood under them American flags.
Hey, that wouldn't
It,
that be called the Perky Nubs persimmon pellets?
It might have been.
That's the perky nose.
if you run into somebody going, that's they got one of them 3 bags left on the shelf.
That would be pretty cool. Perky Nubs persimmon flavored pellets. That would be.
Green persimmon.
That's it. Floyd, tell them
Oh
about.
yeah, man. Good folks there. Me and Nadine was there Wednesday night last night. Got our catfish fillet plate. They my home fries and French fries, potatoes. Brought them on home and eat them. Anything. If you want something good to eat, if you want you a good steak, you want to go in there and sit down and socialize with some of your friends. They got it going on now. A nice atmosphere, a good cool place in there with good food, good fried shrimp, good steaks, good fish. They got grouper, they got catfish, you got whatever you want in there. Good salads, good, great salad bar, one of the best salad bars around anywhere. Go see them at TK's Bar and Grill. Go eat dinner with them there during the week. They serve dinner and lunch in there during the week. They got a good menu there to choose from. You'll like it. They're good hometown folks. The guy that owns that, he farms for a living, and he knows the drill. But I'm telling you, he knows what good food is. He came from a long line of people that knows how to cook and knows what good food was. Oh, y'all go in there and see him at TK's Bar and Grill in Concord, Georgia, right there on Highway 45, going right out of Concord, right on your left. You can't miss it, and you'll be glad you did.
Hey, we got a good friend. We have a confidant. We have a sponsor in exclusivity and perpetuity and purgatory. Mr. T.C. Berryhill of Berryhill Auctioneers. www.berryhillauctioneers.com. You can check him out on the website there. He's been in business for many years, and he's a good man. He's a good businessman, and he is a friend of Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show. And he is our sponsor of Floyd's Lists. Floyd's Lists of Impossibilities and a whole lot more.
He's a good guy. Oh, I hadn't talked to TC in a while, but I'm gonna try to reach out to him, maybe talk to him in the next day or two. But You know, and the Freud's list of impossibilities ain't nothing but the truth. Anybody's got, if you got any kind of evidence or anything against what I say, please, here's what you need to do. You need to start your own podcast. You need to have your own show on. Have it on. Have it on Thursday night, opposite when we're on. Put it on there if y'all got it, and have at it. Knock them out. Express your opinions and your viewpoints. Now you won't have any you won't have any reflecting because you don't know nothing, you can't remember nothing, and you won't have any revelating because you have no idea who you are or where you are. So just go ahead and have at it. If you want to argue with anything that we talk about here on this show tonight, if I may, you know. Floyd list of impossibility. It's an impossibility. Y'all hear me? Impossibility that a person sitting alone in a car with a COVID mask on will ever have a bumper sticker on their car that says, "I voted for Trump." Impossibility.
Amen.
He was. Think about this one. He's been in the news recently. Impossibility that P. Diddy, y'all hear the P. Diddy? Y'all hear the P. Diddy? Impossibility that P. Diddy will be having any sex orgies with the Kardashian women anytime soon. They in it up to him. Let me tell you, they in it up to him. The
Hey,
Kardashians. So any of y'all out there that's big fans of them, watch out. The shoe gonna fall.
hey, listen though. Let me tell you something else. There's a tie-in with P. Diddy and Hillary Clinton. You think that he
Uh-huh.
do like Epstein?
Mm-hmm. They go Epstein him. Hey,
Well,
who? P Diddy's gone. If y'all want to talk to P Diddy, you better talk to him pretty soon. So he's gonna be gone.
well, I wonder. There was some video that was out not long ago of Reverend T.D. Jakes at a P. Diddy party, and
Big Daddy. He
I,
got it.
I,
He got
I
the
want.
goods on all of them. He got it. He got it on all of them, man. So P Diddy's gone. He's toast. He did his toast. Uh, you will never. It's an impossibility that 6 months from now you will be able to get an autograph from P Diddy. Impossibility that any of the Haitian and Venezuelan illegal aliens will ever be dropped off and be welcomed by the citizens of Martha's Vineyard.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
An impossibility that anytime Kamala Harris says you're going to get a tax credit, number one means you have to pay taxes in order to get a tax credit. You don't get a tax credit by not just pay by not paying. You have to pay taxes to get a tax credit. So she says anytime you're gonna get a tax credit, gonna get you a $25,000 or $50,000 tax credit for starting a new business. Okay. That anytime Kamala Harris says tax credit, that it actually means anything other than giving a check to someone who is already on welfare. That's going to be Kamala's tax credit deal. I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist this one right here. And our Jewish friends are so smart. They, God has blessed them with so many more brains than, than their Ishmaelite brothers, if you will. And you people who are biblical know who I'm speaking of. You hear me, Marvin? You hear me, Queasel? You hear me,
I
Charlie?
hear you.
You
I
got me.
got it. I got it.
It's impossibility that any living Muslim terrorist will ever communicate by pager or walkie-talkie again.
Can I can I add to that one little line? This was on This was on radio this week. Oh, a conservative radio host said he deemed it the largest mass circumcision campaign to ever be had. You got
and, and,
nothing but the
and,
truth.
and amputation, circumcision and amputations. Man,
Woo!
oh, Allah Allah Akbar, Kabooshah. Where Akbar? Where he go? Oh, oh,
Woo!
oh, 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 1 minute. Patient go on. Booyah. What, I'm his hand. I'm his hand, man, over that side of the street. I think it's funny. I think it's great. I love every minute of it. Need to
Woo!
do. I'm gonna tell you what it is. Them Jews is gonna have them. They're gonna have them scared to eat an orange.
It starve them to death.
Hey, listen, you, if you gonna get ahead of the Mossad, if you gonna get ahead of the Mossad, you better get up before daylight.
I want you to picture this. Picture this, if you will. The Muslim toilets is a hole in the floor. It's in the floor. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the Muslim? Oh, it's a hole in the floor. I promise you, that's what the toilet is. Woo! Think about that, Mossad. That's a good way. Oh, Lord. Lord.
Oh,
Ooh, I'm about to do that, Lord. It's funny, though. I don't care who y'all that is. It's funny. And here's an impossibility that Hillary Clinton's drawers smell like anything other than boiled rutabagas. And this Stacey Abrams drawers smell like anything other than a sack of wet squirrels. I'm doing.
You know, I saw a picture of her. I guess it was on a recent news. Hillary, and I'm not trying to be. Hillary looks rough. I mean,
rough,
she
rough.
looks rough.
Well, let me ask you this: how long you been wearing glasses? You think this has just occurred?
Uh,
Yeah,
That's the
I
ugliest
was gonna
woman.
ask you when the
Ah,
last time
dang.
she looked sanded.
Lord have mercy, no.
I mean,
Uh,
Have mercy.
she's
Have
got
mercy. Have mercy.
bags. She's got bags under her eyes. I mean, it's just she looks road hard and put up wet. I'm talking
what do
about.
you think she is?
Let me interject something in. This is on my mind. Y'all know that what's it? Kamala's running mate. What's his name? Tim who? Tim
Ted
Walsh.
Walls.
Tim Walsh. Do y'all know who he is? Do y'all know who his father is? Do y'all ever watch the Philadelphia Phillies baseball team? They got a mascot. They got a mascot named Fanaticize or something like that. And he's this big old
Yeah,
stupid looking thing with a big old long green nose and a big old fat gut like that. And he walks around. The Philadelphia Phillies mascot. If you can find a picture of him, Marvin, and put him up there, that him and Tim Walsh was separated at birth. That mascot right there. If y'all ever see it, y'all know who I'm talking about. You know all these baseball
I
teams.
know who you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. You've seen it. And
Yeah,
he man,
yeah,
he's
I
out there,
seen
he
him.
chucking and jiving, he boogieing, he doing all. That's exactly what that Walsh fellow reminds me of. Is the Philadelphia Phillies baseball fanatic or something like fan something. He's a crazy, and that's him.
I think I got it right here. It ain't gonna be the whole screen, but y'all will be able to see it right there.
That's
That's
him.
him. That's him
That's
right
him.
there. And if
That's
you can
it.
have some movement, if you can have some, that's who Tim Walsh learned to take his movements from. Was that cat right there? He's this guy. That's him. Anyway, I'm done. Y'all go ahead.
Oh,
Uh, especially I thank the folks at Kelly Crop Insurance for helping us out on Thursday nights and for serving the community. The biggest thing that worries me about this forecast, y'all, is I keep seeing different reports, different places, that we're going to have what could be a major hurricane possibility in the Gulf in about 10 days. So I would hope we all pray for protection from that coming our way because that's the last thing we need around here in the agricultural community right now. Otherwise, wide open weather for the harvest of peanuts, cotton, now through midweek before some slight chances of rain move in. But got a little cooler nights. Feels good early in the morning when you walk out, and then back up to hot in the afternoon. Welcome to the Wiregrass area. We know our weather, and we thank the folks at Kelly Crop Insurance. We thank all of you who put up with us for our little visit on Thursday nights together. And we want to give a we love y'all. And you must love us somewhat back because if you watch tonight, you have given up the opportunity of watching Okra and the Chameleon in a virtual rally, whatever the heck that is. So you chose us over Oprah and Camilla. Thank y'all for doing that. We appreciate y'all. And I've said it for the last 3 years plus. Pray for our nation. Pray that we return to our basics and godly beliefs in this nation, that we go to the polls and help God's will to be done on November 5th. Is that right? 5th?
That's
Something
it.
like that? Uh, because I don't think he's happy with what's going on right now. All the lies. I watched Gut Feel last night on Fox. The only reason I have any cable at all is because that's the only way you can get direct TV, the only way you can get Fox News. I can't believe anything these commentators on ABC, NBC, or CBS have to say because they're part of our problem. Three of us came from an era of time, folks, when our parents and we sat down with them a lot of times. We all sat at the table and ate together. And would also watch this guy named Walter Cronkite at 5:30 Monday through Friday. He didn't tell us what certain political interests wanted us to know. He told us some facts, and we made up our own mind. With ABC, CBS, and NBC, they can't do it because they're part of our problem. The establishment and media and the deep state and their connection with the Democratic Party. I've been in this business a long time, and I've never seen anything like it, what we're seeing now. So pray that the truth be known. Watching Gutfield last night, I watched Donald Trump have a great time with people, with the audience. And yeah, he's a billionaire, but he's a real person. And he gets things done. He don't tell you what you want to hear. He tells you some facts and how things should be. It has nothing to do with I'm not gonna do away with fracking now. I was then, but I'm not now. And just pray that somehow or another we get that man as opposed to that other side in office. Pray, pray, pray for our nation, Queasel.
Thank you, Charlie. Hey, you dead on the money. You dead on the money. Everything you said. Used to be the news was the news. You could count on it. But we want to thank y'all for letting us come into your house and spend some time with you. Tell y'all the truth, and maybe we made you smile. Maybe we might not be funny enough to make you laugh, but maybe we made you smile, or maybe we made you forget about whatever it is that's eating at you. And if we could do that, then we have done what we are. Our mission is accomplished. Life's too short not to be happy. Life's too short not to enjoy it. And if you ain't enjoying life, you need to make some changes. And I tell you, a good way to make that change. If you really want to enjoy life, you give your heart to the Lord, and He will help you. He will give you something to be happy about. He'll give you joy in your life that you're missing. So I encourage you to do that. We again thank y'all for letting us in. Next time you see a police officer, a firefighter, EMT, paramedic, Next time you see a military veteran or an active military, tell them thank you. Tell them you appreciate them for their service because they allow us to be safe where we are. And that's the way it is. Floyd?
Thank you, Queasel. Hey, that's great words, man. Nothing but the truth. That's all you're going to hear from us. Only add a little something. I say this every now and then. If you got somebody that you hadn't talked to in a long time, if you got somebody, a friend or a relative or a family member, whoever it is that you hadn't talked to in a while, pick up the phone right now. Pick it up right now and call them and tell them you're thinking about them and ask them to say anything I can do to help. Because people are out there. A lot of people don't have other people. Me and Nadine, we've been going back and forth to the doctor for about 3 years now, and we'll see people that are older than us in the doctor's office by themselves. And I'll see them. They try to get in their car and leave, And I say, how in the world do them folks do that? Nobody came with them. Find you somebody that you hadn't talked to in a while, or find somebody who's been an important person in your life, and call them, pick them up and call them right now and tell them that you're thinking about them and they say anything I can do for you. Do you need anything? Do you need me to help you go to the doctor? Say anything I can do for you. And I ain't preaching. I'm just telling you what's on my heart. I'm just telling you. It's like Weasel just talking about, says, what's in your heart? Well, that's in my heart. I think about stuff like that. And I know how blessed we have been. I know how blessed me and Nadine have been with the friends that we have, the things we've been through. I know what friends mean, and I know people call us and talk to us all the time. Hey, man, I got somebody call me every day and talk and say, hey, man, me and Nadine, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? I mean, well, we doing good today. We having a good day. But y'all just remember people that's in your life, that's made a difference in your life, and maybe just a little bit of difference in your life, had an impact, a positive impact in your life. Remember them and tell them that you remember them. You remember what they did for you. Uh, but anyway, that's my sermon for tonight. Listen to me. Always exercise your Second Amendment rights. Always have something with you that you can protect yourself and your loved ones at all times. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, have that. Surround yourself with like minded people,
Hmm.
people who think like you do. Nobody who's way off out there, crazy, psycho in left field somewhere. You can't do nothing with them people. You pray for them, and that's all you can do. Be vigilant of your surroundings. Everything you do, be aware of what's going on around you. And the night when you lay down and go to sleep tonight, you start thanking God for what He got. And I'm talking about God Jehovah. I ain't talking about Mohammed or Buddha or none of them. I'm talking about Jehovah God, the God of all creation. You start thanking Him about what He's done for you today, and you'll go to sleep. And you'll sleep good. When you go to sleep, you'll still be thankful. Good night, y'all. We appreciate y'all tuning in. We love y'all.
Hey guys, appreciate every one of you. We love you. Thank you for tuning in every week right here to Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Spirit Show. Big shout out to the Holstered 9 and Phillips Auto Parts, Sawigga Meat Company, Ziggy B's, Southern Hissy Fits, Shingler Law, TK's Bar and Grill, Berry Hill Auctioneers, and our good friends at Kelly Crop Insurance. All of our sponsors, we appreciate them and thank them for patronizing Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show. Guys, we love all of you. I want to give you an announcement coming up this Sunday. Any of you that were former members or had family that went to Union Baptist Church, they're having a big reunion at Union Baptist Church. That is this Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Going to have singing, going to have preaching, and going to have dinner on the grounds. If you attended Union Baptist Church or you had some loved ones or family that went, go and be a part of that Sunday morning at 10:30 at Union Baptist Church. Our scripture this week says, though I am free and belong to no man, I make myself a slave to everyone to win as many as possible. Guys, we love you. We appreciate you. Every week, y'all are right here, faithful on Thursday nights for Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show. And we understand that and appreciate it and want you to know from the bottom of our hearts how much we appreciate you. Lord willing, and the creek doesn't rise, we'll be right back here, same place, same time, next Thursday night for more Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show. But until then, no matter what you do, no matter where you go, always be
Be
Particular.
particular.
guys. Good night.
Good night.